Okay, it is 9:04 a.m. March 17, 21, and I only have one stock on the main list. I actually thought about buying. The price action is so strange with this selling, right? This has been here since like the 310s, I think. Just very strange price action. ZCMD. This is a first day Green Day. I think is a Chinese stock. Anyway, I was actually considering buying here, but I didn't buy because I was actually just very cynical. I've seen these things fail so many times that I just did not want to pull the trigger. And then after seeing all of this weird price action, right? All of these orders, just it was showing the time and sales, all of these red prints, but it would just keep uptrending. So it was extremely strange, extremely, I guess, manipulative. So I just did not trade it for that reason. And this one actually did a move, like it went from 310 to 335. That's the most I can do. I think I'm going to start considering avoiding looking at the top percent gainers, or maybe I will, but just maybe find the ones that are traded with less volume, because some of these are just too choppy, and then like yesterday they just get sold off. So maybe one that has less volume and it continues running for multiple days would be better. Right now it could be the first inverse head and shoulder second higher low setup. Again, this is all pre-market, but this is what I'm looking at. I just don't understand all that red print in the time and sales. It just doesn't really make sense, because you will see this continuous red print, but then it just starts uptrending. And that is extremely strange, but I'll keep looking. Alright, it's 9:37. I just got out of this AABB number 5 trade. It had a nice drop right here, and it had this uptrend here, but it was a bit conflicting because there was a lot of people on the ask, but people were still buying through. Not a lot of big sellers on the bid, so I didn't consider buying them. But once we had this red candle here, and then once we got into here, we started seeing some better price action, much better people on the bid, big people on the bid pushing the people on the ask. So that's exactly when I got in my trade. And I just let me see the exact times. It looks like I got in at 9:34. That's the average time actually that I'm entering these trades, and I bought at 29.27, so about right about there, right here in this candle right here. Immediately next candle, big price action. Lots of people who were pushing the stock up, lots of buying action. Ended up selling. At first it was a partial position, but then I was able to get the entire thing out, and I sold at 31.21, so right about here. And I think I sold in this candle too. Yeah, I sold in this candle. It wasn't all at once. It was a partial sell, and then it was a complete sell. So I got out just 2 minutes later, and that was I guess, yeah, as you can tell, it was a partial fill. So although I got most of my sell at 26, most of my 3,000 shares were sold in the first one at 936.42, and the average price, I can't really tell, but what the average sell price was. But yeah, definitely made a profit there. How much, I don't know. I guess I made a $58 profit, which is pretty good. Immediately sold just because it felt like we were approaching a wall, and I didn't want to be trying to sell this on the downside, so that's when I considered selling. This is technically after the third day, so 1, 2, 3 green days, or maybe if you count only how much has been up, I guess only 2 days. There were some other ones that I considered. I did not trade them. AABB is just one. It's just this one is just reliable. This one seems to do it a lot better. I was looking at FTXP, didn't really like this selling, so maybe that would scare people from wanting to dip buy it because it just keeps dropping. Let me see which other ones are out there. I did see this one too, but I wasn't interested because this stock was only up one day. Immediately had some selling the next 2 days, so I didn't like that. I wanted something that, you know, has been up at least 3 days ideally. This one was down too. I think some people in the chat room were trying to short this, and I was just not interested in shorting this because I can't, but I didn't want to dip buy this number 5 setup because it was only up one day. I don't see any other ones that worked, but I'm pretty sure there were some. Yeah, some of these were up yesterday a lot, but they did not do anything and like for me to be interested in buying just because they were only up like 1 or 2 days. And some of them just look really dead in the chart. ENZC, this one did one. I wouldn't have, maybe I wouldn't have done this one. I didn't see this one, but probably wouldn't have done it just because it just looks so bad on the 30-day chart. I don't see any other ones that really did a number 5 setup. This one did one, but this one wasn't really that good. I think I did that wrong. I don't like the price of this one, but this one in theory dropped from 14 to 1 and then it went to 12. This one is kind of doing it. I don't really like the 30-day chart. You know, we got to 35, we got to 39. Yeah, I don't really see any other ones that were really nice. I like the AABB just because it consistently, you know, makes number 5 patterns, and it was up already a few days, so it wasn't like completely sold off in a 30-day chart. I guess for now I'll be looking at the largest percent gainers, and I'll be looking for any setups there. We do have some nice OTC runners like ICBU, so I'll be looking at these setups for now. I won't be considering number 5s. Looks like AABB might do a follow-up number 5 setup. Did not notice this until now because I was looking at the other ones. This one could try again. Not sure exactly what the price action was, you know, to determine if I would have bought this or not, but I wasn't really thinking about this. I was just thinking of the initial one. It's gonna have resistance here at 28 and 31, so that's gonna be hard for it, and I'm gonna call off the recording for now. I'm gonna be looking for more setups. Ideally, maybe try practicing some OTC runners instead of number 5 setups, just because it's already 9:43, but you never know. I'll keep looking. Alright, it is 9:55 a.m. I was too damn scared. Could have bought this candle here at 51, and why consider buying? Because it just went up from 2 cents to 7, which is a lot in terms of percent gain, right? And then we have this drop from 7 to 5. And why buy at 5? Well, because it was a very important level of support on the level 2. There was a constant wall of buyers at 50-ish and not 55 cents. There was just a big wall of people on the bid, and I was just too scared. I even had a small position size. Would already be maybe selling by now, but it's nice to have that big bidder there at 57. Very volatile stock. This would have been a very nice one. I just didn't trade it because I was too scared. There's nothing wrong with that. I just have to keep seeing these, and then eventually I'll be able to just go in and out of these trades and not be too scared. I was close to buying this, but I didn't buy it. Well, it looks like now we're at 6 cents, which is nice. 5 to 6. You know, that's a 20% move. Lots of people buying, trying to break 6, but 6 is holding for now. See, some people are trying to buy the exact size on the ask, but it just doesn't. It shows that there's still people who are trying to sell hidden size. See, this one just tried to buy 50,000, and it still shows 50,000 shares. There's some hidden sellers here would consider selling. It could break 6 later, but we don't have any big people on the ask. I mean, not on the ask, on the bid to push it up. So that was a nice move. I could have definitely bought at 51. Ideally sold before 60. That was a great move. This was a great setup. I don't know what you call it, just a dip buy on like a huge spiker. I'll probably save a screenshot of this and call it a new pattern. Very nice. Again, just a nice move from 2 cents to 7, dropped to 5, held 5 consistently on the level 2, and you know, it made a move to 6. So that's a 20% move. It was very easy, just because level 2 makes it very simple. It's not a choppy listed stock. Speaking about choppy listed stocks, ZCMD actually broke the day high here at the market open, but this stock was sketchy. I don't know how this thing played out in terms of price action, but who knows, maybe I would have bought this if I was looking. It went from 341 to I guess 409, so that's pretty good in terms of percent gain. I think that's another give or take 20% move. Immediately sold off. I don't know, some people are just unloading their shares. Just seems very different from the other stocks. Just looking at the red tape, just a lot of people who are just selling these streaks of 100 shares, although it's looking a lot better now than it was pre-market. I'll give it that. Yeah, VBHI, that was a nice move. It could try to break 6 later. There are some people building up on the bid, but you know, my ideal entry was getting in at this candle at 51-ish and then selling before 60. Very nice move there. Next time I see it, I'll be more likely, you know, wanting to buy it. Okay, it's 10:06 a.m. AABB looks a bit like an inverse head and shoulders. Probably missed my entry here. And the level 2, now it looks a lot better, but at one point it looked kind of bad, so it's not really moving that much. It is up on the day a little, but it did have this selling that, you know, I traded recently. Probably not going to trade this. This is very interesting. VBHI eventually broke 6, so that's very impressive. Now it's 6.7. Yeah, next time I see one of these, I'll be very more likely going to buy it, even if it doesn't work out the next time. It's just that I haven't seen this pattern too many times. I saw Tim trade one of these before in the market mastery thing, so that's kind of like where I got this idea from. Just dip buying a stock that's up big on its first day. It has to be a crazy large percentage like this to be considered. It can't be a stock up 30% and just drops like that, because it could just keep dropping. It has to be a huge percent gain like this, and I guess this one is also up because it has news. Right, some kind of news can help push it up. So big percent gain, news, big dip, solid support on the bid, and smaller people on the ask. Good price action. A nice buy. Wouldn't have held till 7. Definitely would have sold at 6 or close to 6 had I have held through these green candles without a problem, without, you know, wanting to take profits or you know, being scared for whatever reason. This is where I'm at right now. ZCMD is doing the nice selling off like all the other listed stocks. Very nice. If this thing's gonna crack the day high, that's impressive. I'm too scared to want to buy that, but in theory this could be a buy too. You can buy a small freaking position size and see if it just keeps running, makes a new day high. In theory that could be it. We do have some people helping on the bid that could help push it up. Just like that, 7.2 to 7.5. Now 76 is on the ask. This one happened kind of quickly, and I wasn't really thinking about the possibility of it cracking a day high like that. It was kind of quick, but that is another setup right there. I traded AABB well, so I will be trading larger position sizes from here on out, but only on number 5 setups. When it comes to stuff like this with VBHI, I'll still trade like $500 worth of shares just to play it safe and just learn from it, because you know I'm not that experienced with these type of setups. But you know, I mean, I've seen them, sure, but I haven't really had experience trading it. Looks like we're back at 72. There is a big seller on the ask. We're back at 6.7. That was a very quick one. Yeah, that was very sketchy, because you know it broke the day high, but it had all this time right where people could have been buying, and now they're just trying to sell, you know, because they're skeptical or they're not sure. So very impressive. Don't want to buy if it dips here again. It's just not the same. It's best the first time. In fact, you can actually call this a bull flag. My fear when I was, you know, considering buying was that because it's very volatile and moves a lot, I was afraid that there would be, you know, follow-up selling. It didn't do it. It held very nicely. That's why you cut losses quickly when it doesn't work, so that you don't lose much. But then when it does work, you can sell for a very nice profit, and it makes up all the losses. This is pretty nice. I'm just gonna passively look at stocks for now. Really just gonna take things easy. Even if this thing cracks the day high, if it holds here, just gonna play it easy and see, you know, just learn from this. Alright, it is 10:39 a.m. I was gonna consider buying this. I've been like stalking it. If I were to take a buy, it would be here. I'll learn from it. I just don't feel good about this one. I don't know. It's not really the same as VBHI. I don't know why it goes to that one. Anyway, yeah, it could definitely work out here. I just don't feel good about it. I don't know. It just seems much different. VBHI, big spike, drop, bull flag, nice spike. MDRM had this big spike, mini drop, mini bounce, follow-up drop. It could play out here. I just don't feel that good about it. I don't know. It could totally work out though. I could totally be in this already at 91. It just seems sketchy. I don't know. Just didn't feel good about it. But this one seems like it's going to be doing it, which is great. I guess I'll just learn from it. Why does it look like this? I don't know why this chart looks different now that I got out, but in theory this one could work out. It could do it, but I just don't feel good about it. It's just not really the same price action. It kind of failed here. Maybe if it didn't have this movement and it just drops like this, and maybe the candles were a bit longer here, maybe that would be different. I just don't really see it here. It just seems a bit iffy. Just don't really feel good about it. Not really the same as VBHI, which is not much nicer. Got to the 8s. No way I would have held towards the 8s. I would have sold. I would have bought at 5 and sold at right before 6, or maybe 6. But I doubt 6. I probably would have sold slightly before 5. Now it looks like we did crack this level. Yeah, I just didn't feel good about this one. It's already 10:41. I think I'm gonna call it off. Nice trade with AABB. Inverse head and shoulders didn't really work out too nicely, although we did have this crack, not crack, but breakout here from 30 to 32. Well, the very tip, yeah, 32.95. MDRM, yeah, just it could work out, but I just didn't feel good about this one. I'm glad I listened to my gut there, and I didn't just throw myself in that trade. VBHI, very nice. I'll call this a bull flag. I'm gonna learn from it, save a screenshot of it, and be ready for the next day. Because I did trade again AABB nicely. Not really because I made money or lost money, but because I just traded it well. From now on, I will be considering a larger size, like $1,500, give or take, to begin with, which will mean maybe $8 to $1,500 position sizes. Depends how it all goes, but you know, nothing exact. But definitely gonna trade larger there, just because I've been doing better with that. I will be looking more into these OTC setups, runners, not just stocks that are down on the day. A lot to go through, a lot to learn. Pretty good trading day, and I just have to keep going at it.